Welcome, it's FNews57 here. I'm back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and I will be showing you how to convert your guild marks into Astral Diamonds. So this video is going to be a little bit longer because it's going to cover everything. First off, we'll start with obtaining the guild marks and then converting them. There's several different methods to do this, but this is the method that I prefer. I already showed you how to turn your trade bars into diamonds in a previous video, and I showed you how to turn your guild marks into gold in a previous video. However, I don't really like turning these guild marks into gold. I value them more, so what I want to do is I want to convert them into Astral Diamonds. And how we're going to go about doing that most efficiently is going to be during specific events. So first and foremost, you have to get the guild marks. And I already have the guild marks, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. The best time to earn guild marks is during a double guild marks event, because anything that you donate for guild marks gives you twice as much. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, most commonly, there's many different ways to get guild marks. But the most common things donated for them are going to be influence, because it's super easy to do. It's also one influence for one guild mark, or one influence for 2 guild marks during the double guild marks event. And you get that just by running skirmish, or not skirmishes, but heroic encounters inside the guild stronghold. Plus, usually the coffer is not full. Any campaign currencies you don't need, or vouchers that you make through the campaigns, you can go ahead and donate those as well. So like, I don't use these Thayan ciphers. That means I can go ahead and donate them for guild marks, so on and so forth. How you choose to do it and to get your guild marks is entirely 100% up to you. Once the coffer is at max, though, you would have to look for like a different guild in your alliance that you can actually donate to, because, well, yours is maxed out. So just remember, you can donate stuff to your alliance. The max guild marks you can have is 30,000 guild marks. So once you have the guild marks, the most efficient time is to wait for there to be a guild mark sale or guild mark event, or pull a coupon from the Protector's Jubilee that reduces the cost of guild marks. However, if you don't have that, that's okay as well. What you can do is come over here to the Generalist, go to the category of scrolls, and if your guild level is high enough, you should see all of these cases. Now, we've had the Explorer's case for Caverns, Hot Now, Skyhold, and Velosk for a while. These are the old Mastercraft resources. Relatively recently introduced is the Brinchander Scroll, the Cold Run Scroll, and the Lonelywood Scroll. These are the ones that you're going to want to buy, assuming that you have access to those areas from the Storm King's Thunder campaign. As far as which one you want to buy, it's completely up to you. It really just depends upon which resource is currently selling best. But it's hit or miss, guys. It's really hit or miss. So sometimes I pick up a few of each. It's up to you. Remember that you can farm guild marks on alternate characters just by donating items on those characters or farming influence on them. Or if your guild has room for labor, you can donate the epic people, epic profession workers, to go ahead and fill up the coffer that way and get your guild marks that way. So what we're going to do, the next step is either going to be A, hold on to those scrolls, or in the case for right now, while I'm doing this video, we have a double professions XP and resources event. Now, this is the key part to making a profit on these scrolls. If you use the scrolls by themselves, you're not going to make a profit on it. The other thing, though, you're going to want, ideally, a guild that has access to this boon right here. It's going to be under your utility, and the boon you're looking for is the Treasure Hunter boon, also commonly known as the Explorer's boon. The thing of it is when it reaches rank 6, it doubles the amount of resources earned from Explorer's charts, which are those scrolls that I just showed you. So go ahead and equip that. Hopefully you have a character that has a decent mount movement speed on it. If you're doing this, you should have at least like a 110 movement speed. If not, it's going to take a while. And under the category of Icewind Dale, I'll show you both of the two scrolls. I'll do Lonely Wood, and then I will also do a Cold Run scroll. And the thing of it is you're going to have to check the market, because the market is different on every single platform. So the pricing of these items will be different depending on whether you're on PC, PlayStation 4, or the Xbox One/Xbox One X. So we're going to go ahead and open the case. Remember, the scrolls stack until you open them. Then you'll get a explorer's chart, which will go ahead and accept the quest. And it'll be the explorer's chart, Lonely Wood, gather untapped resources. So that what you want to make sure that you do is go into your journal, and if you have other quests, you want to make sure that you get rid of those quests. So just minimize the ones that you don't need. Like, I don't need Dread Ring. We need Lonely Wood, and I have all the other quests from Lonely Wood, so that's a little bit annoying. But the main quest that we need is the Explorer's Chart, which can be a little bit hard to find because it's not a gold quest. It actually shows up under General. It's this particular quest, and you're going to want to force display and draw quest path. That should put it to the very top of your list. Remember, the sparkling line is not always the most accurate. And of course, you may have to fight some enemies. That's the only thing that I like about the lower level scrolls, is you don't actually have to fight enemies. But once you get into these level of scrolls, you will end up aggroing enemies and you'll have to kill them. So just be prepared for that. But we have the Explorer's Boon active, or that Treasure Hunter Boon, and we have the double resources and XP for professions. So we are set. We are going to get the absolute maximum possible for doing this. But what you're looking for, because they like to hide them on you, of course, is going to be the little skill node that you have to search. And I don't think this is the right one here. Yeah, that's just an herbs one. It's one for the quest. Ah, here we go. It's hidden behind the tree. See, I'm not a fan of Lonely Wood because they hide behind the tree. And there's various different items that you can get. So this one gave me 4 spruce resin, which is the max of any one item that you can get for having the event and the Explorer's Boon. Regularly, you might get like 1 during the event. You get like 1, maybe 2 normally at the most. And then, of course, with the event and the boon, that's how you get the 4 of them. And now there's 6 different places that you have to search per scroll. So it takes a while to do this. Like, I'm only doing 1 scroll to show you. There are people out there that have hundreds of scrolls. So it is a technique that you can use to make a massive amount. You just have to be a little bit careful because you can easily miss the item. Now we have Spruce Logs. Spruce Logs are actually pretty good. That's the second item that you can get. And remember, none of this you're going to sell right away. Like, you could, if you wanted to, you could sell it right away, but it would be extremely inefficient to sell it right away. And the reason why it would be extremely inefficient to sell right off the bat is because obviously double to quadruple the amount of these resources are being currently pulled, so the price is about 1/4 what the price is normally. There's a prime example of I aggroed some giants. Now, as long as you don't get knocked off your mount, you can run away from them, which is why I recommended you have at least a 110 mount for doing this, especially because you can't be using the mount movement speed boon. And a lot of people love the mount movement speed boon, but since you can't use it, and I just got killed there, never mind that. This is why I hate the Lonely Wood section, guys. This is honestly my least favorite, and when I say least favorite, I do mean least favorite of these scrolls. But the Spruce Logs and spruce resin actually sell for a decent amount. I'm going to have to kill these bears because they're in my way. Plus, I wanted to show you how much I could get since I don't have any of the spruce pieces currently in my inventory. But I do have the cold run pieces. I prefer to do cold run because you get the Rubellite. There's red alder bark currently from that one. It takes a second because this, like I said, sparkly line is not always accurate. It's relatively accurate, but not always. And it loves to take you through enemies. So once you're familiar with the locations for the scrolls, it's actually best if you don't follow the line, simply because you won't get taken to these really annoying alternate spots for enemies. I just have to find... This should be right here. They're usually always next to a tree, but this one spot, I don't know why it's not showing up for me. Ah, there it is. They blend right in. That's why I said I don't like this area. Spruce logs. I'll take it. I have one more spot to go. And then I can show you how much stuff I got. Let me mark it on the map. That's another thing you can do. You can actually go ahead and set special waypoint. And that makes it a lot easier sometimes because it'll map a slightly different path for you as opposed to using just the normal quest tracker. But whatever way works for you. Honestly, it's not like there's a wrong way or a right way. And if you have multiple scrolls, you'll get used to it very quickly. I've only done, I think, like 5 scrolls in this area, all told, simply because I didn't like it. The next area that I'm going to do is the one for Cold Run, and we'll show you what you get from that. And then I'll show you what they're currently selling for. Yeah, see, this is the one that I don't like, because I always fall off. And if you fall down there, you die. But here's the last spot in Lonelywood. And we got Spruce Logs. So that completes the quest, uses up the item. I don't need those herbs. Now if I go over to my professions resources, which this is the nice thing, once you get these items, they all end up in your professions bag. So they don't even take up your regular inventory space. And you'll see what I got from that one scroll was 4 spruce resin, 16 spruce logs, and 4 red alder bark. So not bad for one scroll, but we are going to go ahead and do another scroll, which is going to be the Cold Run scroll, and just show you the different items that you can get from Cold Run. And personally, I think this is an easier scroll to do, but I know a lot of people like the spruce logs, because spruce logs are used in more master crafting tasks. So again, what you want to do, go back into your inventory, open the scroll case, accept that quest. If it does not automatically put the quest at the top of your journal, then go ahead into your journal and do the whole force display thing. Pretty simple once you get used to it. Now, unfortunately, it likes to put the rocks down here. And we got native iron ore. That's not really that great. Basically, from every scroll you get, there's going to be 2 resources that are common, per se. And they don't sell for that much. And then there's going to be 1 resource that sells for exponentially. Like exponentially, not exponentially. I suppose that's what happens when I record at 5 o'clock in the morning. But there'll be 1 resource that sells for exponentially more than the rest of the resources. And that's the resource that you're primarily going for. So there's a little bit of RNG. There's a little bit of luck to how much AD you actually make. And that's why you could have 1 scroll that's bad. But then you get a couple other scrolls that are really good. So it balances out. And remember, they cost 3,000 guild marks apiece, which means that at the end of the day, if you have 30,000 guild marks, you can buy 10 scrolls. So roughly what I got in reward, you can get 10 times that amount. There we go. That's the raw Rubellite, which is the best thing that we can get from the Cold Run zone. It's used to make the Mastercraft 2 Rubellite Sash, Rubellite Amulet, all of those fun things, which a lot of people were picking up when the Masterwork 2 stuff was first introduced, but lately most people have been going with the single stat company gear, so that's caused the Master Crafting stuff to fall in price, unfortunately. In either case, you shouldn't really have too many people to contend with. It doesn't matter if you have other people running around in the zone, because everybody has their own skill node to interact with, so nobody's going to steal your stuff or anything like that. You actually can't steal other players' stuff. And usually you can run past these enemies. Like, here we go. We have another guy hunting resources. If you're in combat with enemies, you sometimes have to run farther away to get them to leash, and then you can interact. Like I said, they're more annoying than the 1,500 cost scrolls, but they're more profitable. Unless you're doing master crafting yourself. If you're doing master crafting yourself and can thereby afford to upgrade the stuff that you get, like if you were to do Whispering Caverns, you get a lot of gold ore. And if you have jewel crafting at like Mastercraft 1, then you could take that ore and upgrade it yourself. You could take it and make gold nuggets or make gold bars. There's a bunch that you could do with that. It's a little bit hard sometimes to avoid aggroing that giant. Sadly, my controller's broken right now. I have a ghost walk problem on my controller, and I have a defective A button, so it's a little annoying for me to do these. I have to like press the A button 3 or 4 times to actually interact with it. That's why it's taken me a little bit longer. I just haven't had the money for a new controller. But we're gonna go over here and get the last resource. Now mostly it's giving me the native stuff. Would be really awesome if it would give me the 3rd resource so I can show it off to you. Oh, raw Rubellite. So I got like 12 raw Rubellite off of that. And if we go to the Tarmaloon Trade House, this is going to be how you finally get the diamonds. We're going to sell these resources. So first I'm going to show you what the current pricing is for the resources that we got from Lonelywood. Spruce resin, as I said, not much. Like 1,500 diamonds. Remember, this is roughly 50% to 75% less than what the pricing is normally. So if you wait about 3 to 4 weeks after the event ends, you'll be able to make a considerably higher profit. Now, the red alder bark, better, 12,000 for 4 of them. So right there, I mean, even if it only goes up, say, 50%, 24k for 4 of them, that's pretty decent money off of 1 scroll. Plus the, 1,500 for the spruce resin. And we got 16 spruce logs. That's worth 28,000 right there. And that'll probably go up to around 58 to 65,000 once the event's over. So that's a considerable chunk of diamonds. All told, off of 1 scroll, I would say I received around 75,000 diamonds once the prices go back up, once the event's over. Now, the pricing, like I said earlier, will be different, but this is how I convert my items. You just have to be patient when you do it. I'll show you my raw Rubellite so you can get an idea for how much that sells for. And I'll also show you the older resources. So here's my native iron. Now remember, I got this off of multiple scrolls, not just the 1 scroll. But native iron is relatively cheap. 4,200 change for that. It's the pretty much not wanted item. And now let me go down and find my raw Rubellite. There's my raw Rubellite. Now that is still currently expensive. I have 20 of them, and it's worth 184,000 at the moment. It'll probably be worth around, I would say, 250k, roughly. At least 250k within 3 to 4 weeks of doing this. Now, the prices that I'm saying may not be the prices on your platform, so sell for whatever is a good price on your platform. All right? The last thing that I want to show you, though, is if you have master crafting, you can actually convert these items. So like what I got from the Whispering Caverns thing is gold ore. Now it takes 3 gold ore to attempt to make a gold nugget. So if we look at what 3 gold ore sells for, which as you can see I have a lot of gold ore, but we'll just put up 3 gold ore for now. It's like 6,000 diamonds if you're lucky. And the only reason why it's that expensive right now is simply due to the fact that everybody's farming the Cold Run scrolls or the Lonelywood scrolls. But let's look at what 1 gold nugget sells for, which is what you can make. Around 10,000 diamonds. So if you want to, if you have master crafting, if you have like a mythic forge hammer of Gond or something, you can actually go and take these raw resources, and some of them can be converted into other resources. They can be refined further up to make them actually more valuable. It's up to you. It takes a lot of time to do it, but let's go ahead and put up like what I have right now to give you a better idea. If I put up my 300 gold ore, that's 878,000. But if I put up my 100 gold nuggets converted, now granted, like I said, that does take time to do, but 100 gold nuggets is going to sell for a considerable larger sum. It's literally 1,036,000 for 100 gold nuggets. So you can make a lot of diamonds off of doing this. And like I said, remember, the prices are lower because of the events. If you have multiple scrolls, all you do is you keep the scrolls in your inventory, open them one at a time, and then go ahead and rinse and repeat the process. So right there, we just got more raw Rubellite. The only reason why raw Rubellite is as expensive as it is right now is because it's used to make the neck and belt set that I'm currently using. So it's used to make like the Rubellite sash, which is excellent on control wizards. It's used in a few other things, but that's like the main thing that I've seen people actually want the item for. And of course, you can go in any direction that you want, but Cold Run is a little bit of an annoying zone. There's some people that try to farm it, but they don't have it unlocked yet because it's the last zone that you unlock in the Storm King's Thunder campaign. So that's why the Rubellite is still up there in price. Otherwise, it would be a lot cheaper. The native iron ore that you get, you've seen, it's worthless. You don't want native iron ore. If you get anything, you want it to be the raw Rubellite. There is a third item, I believe, that you can get. I think it's effervescent spring water or something like that. I don't have it on me, so I can't show you, and I haven't been lucky enough to actually pull any of it to show you what the item looks like. But it's another one that's not really worth that much. Every one of the scrolls has 2 items that's okay value, and then 1 item that's really expensive. There we go. Effervescent water, actually. That's the third type of item. So what you're ideally looking for is all Rubellite on this, whatever that one expensive item is. And remember, it might change because we're talking about selling it 3 to 4 weeks from the end of the event. So you just have to kind of play your cards right. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill, and just a whole lot of farming. Hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to message me. All of my social media links will be in the description. which should make it very easy, like just downright super easy for you to get in contact with me. And hopefully you can make a bunch of diamonds off of this. Now, the only reason why I waited to put out this video is simply because I thought that everybody knew about it already. But it turns out a lot of people don't. So, since it was requested when I made my how to turn your guild marks into gold video, and I mentioned that I'd turn them into astral diamonds, most people asked how I did that. Well, this is how I do it. There's no instantaneous gratification factor here. It takes time, it takes energy, but once you do it, if you're patient, this will turn a better profit than even trying to turn it into gold, trade the gold, and then sell the items that you got with the gold. Just remember one crucial thing, one crucial step. Do not undercut. Undercutting is what kills the market. Absolutely kills the market. If you're going to undercut somebody, you might undercut them by a couple hundred diamonds on a stack of like raw Rubellite. Which, as you can see, I got more raw Rubellite now. So if I go into my inventory, let's see, just for pure shits and giggles of it, how much all my raw Rubellite is worth right now. Because it is worth far more than anything that I got from the Lonely Wood scroll. Yeah, now I'm up to 28 raw Rubellite, which is worth 257,955 at the moment. Current price on the Xbox One during the sale. So, it's a nice little thing. Like I mentioned earlier, don't undercut. Just play the market. Sell at the same price or just a couple diamonds less. Your stuff will sell and the market price will be intact. If you have any questions for me, feel free to message me. And if the video was helpful, please leave a like on it. Share the video with your friends or guildmates or Facebook, wherever. That extremely helps out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. And until next time, stay frosty.